One of the many graphic tools in Adobe InDesign is the ability to create gradients, a color fill which uses two or more colors. Think rainbow in the real world and you'll know what a gradient is. It usually helps to think about which colors one wants in the gradient first and which color system one is going to use, whether RGB or CMYK or other. Normally we use CMYK for print, so we'll go with that for this example. To create a gradient we can use, we need to create a gradient swatch. So we'll call up the Swatches panel. Go to the Window menu, and go to Color, and click on Swatches if we didn't already have the panel available on the right. At the top right of the panel, we can click the drop-down menu and tell it we want to create a new gradient swatch. In the dialog box, we can name the swatch as we like. It's a good idea to use a name which informs the user of its purpose. We can just call it Demo Swatch here for simplicity's sake. The type can be either linear, which is basically stripes of color, or radial, like a sunburst. We'll use linear, again, to keep things simple here. The real trick is how we get the colors into the swatch. At the bottom of the dialog is a horizontal strip called the gradient ramp. And underneath it are these little things here that look like tiny houses. They're called color stops, and they're the key to the whole business. To set a color in the gradient, we click on one of the stops and then tell it what color we want it to be. Having clicked the one over here, we can go up to the stop color control and make sure in this case that we're using CMYK. We could even use the existing swatches if we wanted to. And in the sliding controls for the CMYK, we want to tell this one, for demonstration, let's say we want to make it green. So we can throw in some cyan and maybe some yellow, but we also have to dial the black down to 0, otherwise we won't see the green at all. We can then click the right-hand stop, and let's say we want to make it orange. So for orange, we can dial up some magenta, and then maybe some yellow. So get some orange there. If we want another color stop, or two or more, we can click just below the gradient ramp where we want one, like for example more or less in the middle here, and set its color. If we want to make sure we're again using CMYK, sometimes the program will default to using the existing swatches. Just have to click the drop down. And this time I'll go ahead and tell this center color stop that I want it to be, say, an off-white, a cream color. Dial back the cyan and the magenta and use just maybe a touch of yellow, somewhere around maybe 10% or thereabouts. Now the diamonds above the ramp allow us to specify the midpoint between any two colors if we like. We can drag the diamonds back and forth and tell the midpoint of the color to be closer to the middle or further away. We could even type in the location by percentage if we feel like it. We could do the same with the color stops if we want. Click one and type a location percentage if we need precision for any of that. Once we've got the whole thing set up, we can click OK at the top right of the box, and our new demo swatch is available. We could now click on this rectangle here, for example, make sure we're going to give it the fill color, and click the demo swatch for that. We can even apply a gradient to a piece of text. If I do that, well, you'll see that it can occasionally be somewhat inadvisable because applying to the background is fine, but if I want to apply it to the text itself, you can see that if I throw the swatch in there and switch back to my selection tool, click the background, even if I set the background to nothing, the text becomes a little harder to read, so we have to watch out for that. Not quite as simple as boiling water for pasta, but once we get the recipe straight, it's not too tough. A little planning, as always, allows gradients for InDesign documents to add some pizzazz.